on guys, it's Stubbs here. Welcome back to another GT6 Pro Drifting episode, and this time we're here with the Lexus GS300, the Vertex edition. Now, the first part of this recording sort of like failed, but it's a good thing we didn't get too far into the actual video itself. However, I ended up buying this, and then all I'd done was change the wheels on it, and that's pretty much it. So, you guys have definitely not missed very much, but I really like this thing. I know for a fact that I haven't done a Pro Drifting on this car before. But I really like this thing. I've had it back in Gran Turismo 5. I really enjoyed driving it, so I thought it was a good idea. I'm pretty sure, actually, now that I think about it, I probably did a Pro Drifting episode back on Gran Turismo 5, but I don't think I've done one on Gran Turismo 6 on this car. But if I have, I'm sorry for bringing out another one of these videos. But to my knowledge, I don't think I have done one. So let me see what paint jobs we can put on this thing. I sort of like the way this is sort of like an executive car, so I like sort of like these like darker colors on it. They just look really good. However, if we were to paint this something, I thought we'd do it something bright, since we are turning this into some sort of a drift car. You guys know what I mean? So like a bright blue, like not something like this. I actually really like this thing in blue. It looks pretty good. I mean, the silvers and all these, they're like sort of a little bit too plain. But I kind of really like it in blue. Yes, I'm definitely painting it this color. I mean, as a drift car, I think it looks really good like this. I'm not going to paint the wheels. Actually, I might paint the wheels black. I want to see what they look like once they're painted black. And then we can finally get onto our setup and pretty much just buy everything and see what this thing drives like. But anyway, I think we're going to be drifting on Suzuka today. I'm really interested to see how this thing drives on Suzuka. Let's see if I can paint the wheels black, what this is gonna end up looking like. Oh, I really like it. Yeah, as a drift car, this thing would look beast. Now, yeah, definitely, I really like that. Alright, let's go ahead and now jump into the setup and pretty much purchase everything and then do a setup on this thing and then just take it out on the track, see what it drives like. Now this has a little bit more horsepower than the standard GS300, but I think the setup should be very similar. So if you guys do end up buying the normal Lexus GS300 or the Toyota Aristo, I think it's called. Yeah, it should be called that. That's sort of like the Toyota equivalent of the Lexus GS. It should be pretty much the same. So let's go with some comfort hard tires and let's just buy the suspension. We'll just buy everything now. And then we'll go back and we'll put everything that we need to on the car itself, like the whole setup that we have to do. Now, how much horsepower can we squeeze out of this thing? I mean, I don't want a lot of horsepower out of it. I don't even know what exhaust to put on this, what like sounds good. But like I said, I don't want to squeeze out like insane amount of horsepower out of this thing. I mean, like, oh wow, that's a lot. Okay, we managed to get a lot of weight off this thing, so I might. How much is it with the turbos? 733 horsepower with the turbos. I think we are going to just mess around with the exhaust and see which one sounds good. I think the sports exhaust usually sounds the best, so I'll put that on for now. Now, let's mess around with the setup. See if I can put sort of like a bass tune on this thing, as I usually do with my cars. And then once we're out on the track, we can see what this thing drives like and what exactly do we need to change afterwards. So spring rate at the back, usually around the middle. Spring rate at the front should be a little bit further. A little bit more stiff than the back, which is pretty much the way I like to have my cars. These should usually be around on 6. Anti-roll bars on about 5. Camera at the back is good. Camera at the front, let's bring this up to about between 2.5 to 3.0, so I'll put it up to like 2.8. Toe at the front, we can mess around with this if we really need to, but for right now it's gonna be at 0.25. At the back it's gonna be at 0.2. Actually, now let's bring this down a little bit more to about 0.1. And 0.2, there we go. It should be something like that. Let's give it some racing brakes as well. Drivetrain, we're not going to change that just yet, because we're actually going to need to go out on the track first of all before we change that, just so we know exactly what we need to mess around with. And that's pretty much it right now. So let's hop onto the track, see what this thing drives like, and then what exactly do we need to change on it to make it drive a lot better to my liking. And hopefully you guys are gonna think that the setup is pretty good, but for me, usually these setups work very well, plus you see it in the video. I mean, like how easy it is to drift and stuff like that. So let's go ahead, turn off the driving options, because usually on brand new cars these things are on. Alright, that's pretty good. And let's see what it's like. Maybe we need to change the transmission. I don't know. I'll see if we have to do that, or anything in the suspension and stuff like that. But I mean, we should be. Ooh, shit. Oh my god, this thing's lovely to drive. Clip the wall a little bit there. It's from just a little bit of a mistake on my end, but damn, this is smooth. This thing is smooth to drive, wow. Yeah, this is very good with this setup on it. I actually didn't think that this was gonna be like this good, like straight off from the beginning. And I can use third gear for pretty much like all the corners, so I mean the transmission actually setup isn't really that bad on this thing. Just leaving it at, what was it, like 280 kilometers an hour? Basically just swapping over to the fully customizable transmission and then just leaving it like that. So for this track, it's actually not that bad. I really wish that third gear maybe was a little bit shorter, so I could do all these corners in like fourth gear. But damn, this is good. You guys saw, like, this is the first time I took this car on the track on the setup, and I managed to do a full lap drift. I like this thing. I think this is probably one of my favorite cars right now to drift in, because it's so easy to. Oh wow, the angle. Oh wow, this is good. Handbrake and everything. Initiating drifts with the handbrake. That's good. And I've done most of these corners by just using the weight transfer, but. Yeah, I'm just messing up here right now just because I'm trying different things with this thing, so I'm sort of like using the handbrake. I'm trying to get like bigger angles and see how well this thing drives when I'm doing something a little bit more unconventional than like the very first lap that I've done, which as you saw went very smooth. So I'm like driving a little bit too fast into the corners. I'm driving to see pretty much how the tires handle and everything, so that's pretty much why I go off on like these laps and stuff like that. It's not because I do it, it's not because like I'm bad at drifting, it's just because I try different things. Just to see what the car handles like. So yeah, this is really good. Let's try go a little bit too fast into this corner here, and let's try see if we can initiate the drift with the handbrake instead of just with the weight transfer. See if I can do that. So let's keep it in about like fourth gear. Ooh. We went a little bit too fast, so we ended up going off the track, but we can use the handbrake for sure to initiate drifts. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it, and hopefully you also have enjoyed this this Lexus GS300 Vertex Edition build. I think this is a very smooth and easy car to drift in. So if you guys definitely want to, you guys definitely want to do this thing. I mean, like it's very easy to drift, like I said, and very easy to control around the track. And I'm pretty sure this would be pretty good on Tsukuba as well if we really wanted to tune it for that track instead. But I think the one main thing that I'll tell you to do if you do end up drifting it on other tracks, I think, is change the transmission. But for this track, it's actually not that bad, to be completely honest. So that's why I haven't touched it. I mean, third gear, like I said, maybe a little bit shorter, so I can do all these corners in fourth gear. So like fourth and third gear should be for all these corners. But for right now, I can just do all the corners in third gear on this track, which is pretty good. But thank you guys for watching today's video again. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I'll talk to you guys later. Goodbye.